As you can see behind me, my lawn looks pretty good, but it's not that great. There's actually a lot of thatch in it. I'm currently in the process of trying to remove all of the thatch using liquid dethatching products. This is August 26th, 2020. This will be my third application of liquid dethatching products that I'm putting on the lawn. As you can tell, this is a series. I've got two other videos prior to this one, 3 weeks apart. There will be links to those as well, so if you want to see this from the very beginning. Today, however, I'm going to be putting my third application of liquid products down, and if you have been following along, if you are a subscriber, then you know that I'm using a different product on each section of my lawn. I have 3 sections of my lawn. I'm using 3 different products. I want to compare how they differ, which one works better, which one I like using better. Now, before I actually get to the application today, I want to talk about the 3 products that I'm using. This is Nature's Biological Dethatcher. Yes, I understand that the bottle looks empty. I've been keeping it in a jug on the other side of the room because I'm using the same sprayer for all 3 products. I'm using this bottle to spray them all. Nature's Biological Dethatcher is basically what it says there, a proprietary blend of carbonic enzymes and bacterial species. Maybe you could call that bugs in a bottle. I don't know, but it doesn't appear to have anything else in the product. I'm using Next Dethatch on kind of the playground area of my backyard. This obviously is a bigger bottle because it's a lot more water. This is 88% water, 6% molasses, 2% yeast, 4% humic. And then I'm using Lawn Star's Liquid Lawn Dethatcher. As you can see, this also has molasses, but a much greater percentage of it is molasses. There are also enzymes, which is similar to over here. So some bugs. Fulvic acid is like, it's part of the humic family. And then there's a little bit of seaweed extract. Now, before I get to applying these products this morning, I want to talk a little bit about how they work. Using the label for Nature's Biological as an example, you've got grass blades sitting on top, there's soil sitting on the bottom. The roots go through this brown layer, which is thatch. Now, in a healthy lawn environment, the roots will go through a thin layer of thatch into the soil, and that's where they'll get all their nutrients. In my situation, and lots of other people's, that thatch layer gets too thick. The roots end up staying in the thatch layer looking for water because it acts like a sponge. And then they don't get fed well, and you end up getting fungal problems, you get growth problems because of the watering. Your watering practice basically gets super complicated. Now, the thatch tends to get broken down by bacteria and enzymes, which is what this product uses. This is basically applying bacteria and enzymes to the lawn. Those bacterial species and enzymes are supposed to eat, for a lack of a better word, the thatch layer. Eventually, it turns into soil. Basically, this is supposed to help break down the thatch layer by getting bacteria, healthy bacteria, into the lawn to eat it up. Next, Dethatch, as you notice, does not contain any enzymes or bacterial products of any kind. There is yeast and molasses. Now, yeast and molasses is basically food for the enzymes that are currently in the soil. The humic acids are going to help condition the soil and make it a little bit easier for bacteria and worms and things like that to meander through it, breaking down what is there. As for the molasses and the yeast blends, those are food the bacteria that currently exists in your lawn will eat. It's funny, you want the bacteria to eat the thatch, but at the same time, you need the bacteria and microorganisms that are currently in the lawn to be able to thrive in a healthy environment. And that's what the molasses and yeast is doing. That's helping that process along with the humic acid to help condition the soil and make a good environment for that. This is very watered down because it's 88% water. This is almost no water, but it uses a lot of the same ingredients. You've got a lot more molasses. This is actually putting a little bit of enzymes into the lawn. And then the fulvic is arguably negligible. Fulvic also arguably helps plant uptake of nutrients, and I would not think that that is a significant amount to really help condition the soil. This product really is all about adding a little bit of enzymes to the soil and then providing that soil with the nutrients to make the current bacteria, microorganisms, and added enzymes to thrive. So in some ways, all three of these are kind of acting similarly but differently. They're all three of them are emphasizing different things. All right, it's been 6 weeks since I started my first application, and I figured I'd give you a nice little, I don't know, update as to how things look right now. Now, I think that this looks better than it did 6 weeks ago. This is the area of the lawn that I'm applying Lawn Star. This is the heavy molasses-based product. Basically, the molasses is feeding the bacteria and the microorganisms in the lawn, and hopefully they are expanding and thriving and getting hungrier and eating away at the thatch, because I think things are looking pretty good. There are some areas though that are still squishy. I can dig in here and there's still plenty of stuff in here. I probably will take either a thatch rake or a scarifier to this in the coming weeks, just to see if I can pull some of this looser material off the top. This spring I took a thatch rake to it and pulled a ton out, but as you can see, there's still a lot in there. This is the area where I'm really primarily focusing my efforts on the next dethatch product. And again, I think this area is looking a lot better. Now, this is I accidentally burned the grass right there. I left a piece of plastic there during a 95-degree day and I just toasted it. So that's coming back. But over here, this is the core that I took out 6 weeks ago for my What is Thatch video, which if you haven't watched, definitely do it. But this whole area here is the worst. Now, I mean, you can even see it. It's still not great, but there are areas where the grass really is getting, I like to call it fluffier. I don't know. It's healthier. And that to me says that there is activity going on under the surface that is desirable. And I've got tufts of grass over here. This wasn't here 6 weeks ago. This area is really thriving. There's no particular reason, but this area is growing better. I feel like the thatch underneath is minimal. So I have, oh, there's a weed. Look at that. I believe that the next product is working over here. Everything under the swing set is looking better to me. It's feeling better. Over here, this area is always a little bit dry. I think I need to check my sprinkler system. I know it gets it, but probably not as well as it should. And then over here, I'm still putting the next dethatch product over here, and as you can see, this is still really spongy. But we've got areas that are starting to come out and look better. This whole patch, though, it doesn't seem to be improving nearly as quickly as it is over there. Finally, nature's biological dethatcher. Uh-oh. I got a request for paint. All right, there he goes. Dogs are going nuts. Over here, we're putting the nature's biological dethatcher. And if you remember from the early part of this video, pretty much the only thing getting applied over here is water and enzymes and bacteria. There's no molasses going down, and it doesn't look like there's any yeast or humic acid or anything. So that product is basically just adding microorganisms to the grass. I believe that it may be working slower than the other products. I don't know. So I don't really feel like there's a large difference anywhere. Now, of course, everything's a little bit dingy because I just cut it a little bit shorter than normal, but I don't know. Nothing looks worse over here. And if I catch the lighting right, things look pretty good. But I don't feel like there's a big difference going on over here. But time will tell. I'm still going to apply today, and then hopefully in 3 more weeks, somewhere around, what would that be, around like the 9th or so of September, I'm going to put my 4th application down. So let's go ahead and start the application process. I picked up this 1-gallon VivoSun battery sprayer, and I was kind of hoping to experiment with it, but I'm having a little bit trouble getting it to do an even spray. So I'm going to switch back and just use the biological dethatcher spray unit, the same one that I've used already, but I am going to use the VivoSun measuring cup. 3 ounces for every 1,000 square feet. I'm only doing 600 square feet, so it's going to be about 2 ounces. This is definitely a thicker product, and if memory serves correct, I need to put down 5 ounces. Finally, I'm going to use the next dethatch on this area. This is roughly 1,500 square feet. I mean, what you see right now is small, but I'm doing about a 1,500 square foot section. That equals, at the high rate, 9 ounces per 1,000. It equals about 13.5 ounces. This is supposed to be mixed at a 7-to-1 water to dethatch ratio, and that's mostly because of the molasses in there making it such a thick product. So if you're using a sprayer like this with like a fine wand, the viscosity of it can kind of clog things. Since I'm using a really high water content hose end sprayer, it really doesn't apply. This and all of the other products are not going to clog something like this. So there's really not that big of a deal. Tons and tons of water come through this. That's why I don't mix this at a 7-to-1 ratio. Always spill this one. This jug is so big, it's hard to pour. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was excessive. Okay, this is just silly. I'm making such a big mess. Obviously, I need to pull out a larger, better cup. Funnel? I don't know. Maybe I'll use a funnel next time. As Mr. Alan Haynes says, let's get to spraying and praying. Nature's Biological dethatcher put down there. I got Next Dethatch put down there, and on the other side of the house I have Lawn Star's liquid dethatcher. After the third application, I am very pleased with the way that the yard is looking. I'm seeing lots of little tufts of grass. It's hard to pick them out right now since I just mowed, but I am seeing lots of little tufts of grass. They're slightly darker, a little bit thicker. They just come in a little bit fuller. I'm seeing more of those throughout the yard, more than I saw in early July before I started this process. So I am encouraged that these applications are working their way through the thatch, helping the root systems for all of these grass plants to establish and get more and more healthy with every passing day. It is still August 26th. Typically this time of year where I live, the temperature might be warm and it might be cold. I've been lucky and I'm still getting warm temperatures. Today it's about 84. A little bit later this week it's supposed to be 87, 88, 89, somewhere in that range. These products work best when the temperature is warm, mostly because the entire process hinges on all of the beneficial bacteria, microorganisms in the earth, and they work best when it's warm. With that, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to do another update, another application in about 3 weeks, regardless of the temperature. I'm crossing my fingers that it's warm, maybe pushing 80 by September 9th. You know, we could very easily be at 70 degrees, but I'm going to do what I can. Take care. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't watched the first couple videos, make sure to watch the, here, let me go like that, huh? Up there. There's a playlist for all of the other videos in this series. Please hit the subscribe button and the like if you appreciated this video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.